Please don't be a lot of text. Please don't be a lot of text. Oh my god. How the f*** do you read these cards?
You really struggle.
Listen, here's the secret.
So in today's video, we got the renowned professor from Tulare Community College to read and react to some Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the very first time and rate how good he thinks they are. Unfortunately, we lost the footage for our face cam, so I only have the overhead table camera, but I still wanted to release this video because it's really good and it's got some very funny moments, so I hope you guys can still enjoy it anyway. Drop a like and let's get into the video.
I'm going to nail this. I played my very first game of Yu-Gi-Oh today. From that, I picked up from all three of you everything I need to know about this game to evaluate card strength and quality. No problem. Come at me. Here we go. I see that we have Blue Eyes, the ultimate dragon. This is a dragon fusion. Blue Eyes, white dragon, Blue Eyes, white. It says it twice. Oh, so I have to fuse, I guess. Blue Eyes, white dragon, plus Blue Eyes, white dragon. I need 3 Blue Eyes, white dragons to get an attack of 4,500. It has a defense of 3,800, and it has a bunch of stars up there. I don't know why you don't just take all the stars personally and just say the number of stars, and then it's really clear and easy to read, but from the font I can see that Yu-Gi-Oh does not want its cards clear and easy to read. I watched you guys play real Yu-Gi-Oh in addition to our training match, and I saw a lot of fusioning of cards going on. There's usually 2 cards. This is 3. I didn't see a single fusion of 3 cards.
Sometimes fusion.
Yeah, it can happen.
It varies depending upon the deck you're playing.
So I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm looking at this, I don't see anything too impressive that's getting my attention, but I do know that Blue Eyes is some kind of nostalgia card. And I do know that Yu-Gi-Oh is big on power creep and tapping into nostalgia to sell new stuff, and this is probably a new thing. So I'm betting it's a power creep Blue Eyes. So without understanding any of this, like attack defense, I think this is a very powerful card simply because it's a power creep nostalgia bait.
All right, guys. This was not so hard to pull off, but because it's what we call a vanilla and that it has no effects,
Okay.
it has no protection.
See, my gut went that direction. I looked at this and I thought this, but I just thought power creep Blue Eyes. Maybe this is, I don't
actually
see
an
it.
old card.
Oh, it's an old card. Oh.
It's very,
That fusion was new.
it's very big, but
On TV, looks incredibly strong. It has 4,500 attack points. You know, how are you going to kill something so huge? In actual Yu-Gi-Oh, not having an effect, turns out not so good.
Not so
You have
good.
to ask yourself, you had 3,000 attack monsters, and you made 4,500.
See, I didn't know what the original ones were either. Damn, I swear my instinct was to say this was bad. Okay, better card number 2. We have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Very pretty. A little bit of a hollow foil effect there. This is a zombie tuner effect. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, that didn't come out.
During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, you can discard this card to negate that effect. Now that I understand. That means I have this in my hand, and if something happens that meets this criteria, I can counter it, which as a Magic player, understand. So if someone adds a card from their deck to the hand, special summons from the deck, or send a card from deck to the graveyard, you can only use this effect of Ash, Blossom, and Joyous Spring once per turn. Having seen a deck or two completely combo off turn 1 and turn 2, stopping someone seems critical. Am I crazy to once again go and say, this is really good? Ah, I got it!
Yeah.
Counterspell. It's a counterspell.
This in Yu-Gi-Oh we call a staple.
Okay,
That means
yeah.
You want to have as many copies.
We have
as
those
you
in
can.
Magic
Yeah,
too.
it's affectionately called a hand trap.
Yeah.
In that, like, it kind of functions like a trap card, but you can activate it from your hand in your opponent's turn.
as
Yeah.
long as the criteria is
And you're totally right that, you know, you don't want your opponent searching, or I guess tutoring cards would be the Magic
Yeah.
equivalent.
Yeah.
You don't want them tutoring cards. You don't want people sending things to the graveyard. You don't want people, you know,
Special
summoning anything from their deck. This card actually is almost controversial in that, like, it's so
Wow.
strong that it can make lower tier strategies kind of just not be able to function.
Next card.
Okay, Pot of Prosperity. I know Pot of Greed is broken. Spell card. Oh my god, look at this. It's a novel. Banish 3 or 6 cards, your choice, from your extra deck face down for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. Any damage your opponent takes is halved. Also, excavate cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards banished. Add 1 excavated card to your hand, place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. You can only activate Pot of Prosperity once per turn. You cannot draw cards by card effects. What does it do, though? the whole thing was just what it costs you. But what does it do? Am I allowed to ask you to translate what this card does? Because the way I read this is, here's what you have to do to cast this card. And then it's just like, and we're done. You cast it. But what does it do?
You're banishing cards
Got that.
as a cost.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you're getting is excavating cards from the top of your deck and getting to add 1 to your hand.
Okay, so
And the rest go back to your deck.
ultimately what this is instead of searching my deck for any card, I'm kind of looking at the top several cards and getting to pick the best one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I translate that in Magic terms, that's rough. In fact, in Magic, we have cards that will say, like, if a player were to search their library, they can only look at the top couple cards, and it, like, shuts them down pretty good. I think, though, that in Yu-Gi-Oh! There is a lot more emphasis on digging and getting the card you need, but you don't know if it's going to be there. You're losing a lot as well. Again, I'm going to try and not go based on nostalgia and stuff. I'm going to say this is just flat out meh.
These are the Duke and Duchess of my life. Pop star hat. I think he's going to look great in it. Look. Okay, he doesn't like being a pop.
Shut up.
Did you just pay with PayPal?
Yeah, and the cashback's wild.
Piece of crap.
The answer is very good.
Very good.
Yeah. The thing with this card, yes, you were right when you said it's a pot card. Most pot cards have been, you've had to run it at 3 if you.
Yeah.
This card at one point in time reached up to about $200.
Wow. That's
people were running
amazing.
3.
It's still that?
It's not that.
No.
And people were running 3. The banishing cards from your extra deck, you don't care.
Right.
Dig 6 cards deep, look at them, pick what you want, keep going.
Yeah.
The fact that your opponent can only take half doesn't matter. If you're going first, you don't care because whatever you get, you're probably going to kill them anyway and win within a few turns.
The important thing to remember is Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks are so consistent. 6 cards deep into your deck, you're going to see what you want.
That's almost a 10th.
I feel like I could rewrite this card and express. I feel like I could rewrite this card and express doing this in fewer words more clearly. I bet I could just, like, using Magic terminology, rewrite. That's an idea for a video. Is Magic versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards.
Yes. Okay. So what is our
all
next
right?
card?
Let's see our next card here. Next card we have is. Boy, your font and color choices. World Gears of Thurological Demergy. This is a Cyburst Link effect. 3 level or 5 higher. 3 level, 5 or higher monsters. I can't keep it on the mat. This is so tiny. Cannot be used as link material. This link summoned card is unaffected by other monsters' effects, okay? You can only use each of the following effects of World Gears of blah blah once per turn. Alright, so it's during your main phase if you control this card that was link summoned using 3 monsters that had one different, I hate this card, type of, I don't know, I'm so lost. You can destroy, okay. Blah, 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 blah. If you do all this dumb shit, then you can destroy all other cards on the field. That I could have used against, you earlier. So I already like it because I really needed that. If your opponent does whatever, then you can go special summon something. I mean, it's a whole bunch of crap to either clear the board, which I have not seen on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card yet. In all the cards you've shown me, I haven't seen a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card that clears the board. I like that board clear. I don't care about anything else. It's got a lot of cost, which might make this bad or meh, but that game, clear the board, that sounds really great to me. As a Cyclonic Rift, Lit Armageddon, whatever, clear that board. Wrath of God, those are all great things. Let's do it.
Survey says.
I was going to give you
a meh.
It's a mid. It's a not bad card. the cost is a little bit too high.
Okay.
It only works in certain decks to get the full work of it, and there are just so
Is
many.
my understanding at least accurate that this is board wipe?
Yes, but there are just so many other cards that
Oftentimes do the
job
same
better.
for less.
For significantly less.
Here's something for it. How the fuck do you read this stuff? How the fuck do you read these cards?
You really struggle.
Listen, here's the secret.
That's
why we have to like keep looking at them in the moment.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the end, you forgot the beginning, and you have to start over.
Yeah.
All right. Next card we have. Please don't be a lot of text. Please don't be a lot of text. Oh my god. All right. This is the Winged Dragon of Ra, a sphere mode. At least the font is slightly better here. I can read it. Divine Beast effect. Cannot be special summoned. Requires 3 tributes from either side of the field to normal summon to that side of the field. Cannot be normal set. Okay. Then shift control of this card's owner during the end phase of the next turn. Cannot attack. Your opponent cannot target this card for attacks or card effects. You contribute this card, special summon, the Winged Dragon of Ra from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, and if you do, its attack and defense become 4,000. That's weird that it goes to your opponent. Goes to your opponent. It's another way to get your card. I'm gonna say yes. I have no fucking. This is full disclosure. I don't fucking understand a word of this. Like, can I ask you to, like, is there a way you could translate this one for a Magic player? What is the general gist of what this is doing? This is nonsense.
So,
we want to give our verdict first, and then.
What was it?
Well, that might change my
answer. Tributes 3 of your opponent's monsters.
All right.
And then you give your opponent this card.
Wait a second here. So it's I'm gonna destroy 3 of my opponent's things, but then you get 1 good thing.
So you tribute 3 monsters. You give them the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and now once it's on the field, it can't be really interacted with very easily. They can't attack it.
It can't attack.
You can't attack it because
the other player cannot attack it. The other player cannot target it. And then at the end of the next turn, it'll go back to you.
Oh, so it's like an egg that's hatching.
Yeah. And you can hatch the egg to summon the actual monster from your deck, and it does.
The hard to interact with part is probably good because there's a lot of. It's like you tough titty, and it's going to come to you, and then it's going to come back to me. Is the Winged Dragon of Ra a good card?
I think we can say objectively no.
No.
Yeah.
Well, then this is stupid. If this gets me the Winged Dragon, and the Winged Dragon is bad, then this is bad. Yeah, now it's going to be good. Oh,
Survey
I hate this game. It's bad.
Which one?
3,
What did I first
2,
say? What was my
1?
first guess? Good.
it was
good. I said it was my
Yeah,
first guess.
good.
My first guess was good.
It can clear your opponent's monsters.
There's 3
totally
monsters.
for
Right.
free. Even if they have monsters that they have like loads of text on them,
Cannot be destroyed.
it completely
Yeah.
ignores all that by just distributing them all away. So
Next one, not too much text. Oh my god. Red Eyes. This is
this
an
guy's
excellent
got
card.
the wrong game.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Red Eyes Dark Dragon. Attack 3,000, defense 2,500. Okay, so Dark Magician, Red Eyes, Black Dragon, or Dragon affected monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay, that's pretty good. Neither player can target this card with card effects. That's pretty good. During their main phase, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. That's pretty good. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. That's pretty good. You can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of normal monsters used as fusion material for this card. So you fuse a bunch of things to get it. Once per turn, when a card effect is activated, like an instant, you can discard 1 card, negate the activation. Yeah, this is great. This is not just good, I'm saying this is great.
This card is.
The monsters used to summon it are typically quite specific. However, there are cards that can kind of skip the steps needed to summon it, and as you can tell, it's a bully.
Yeah.
It can negate things, it can destroy things, your opponent can't target it, your opponent can't destroy it. It gets stronger as it uses its effects. Insanely good.
All right.
It's a 1 card, just like
It's the only good Red Eyes card.
All right, here we go. Oh, thank God, it doesn't have a lot of text.
What is it?
It's Solemn Judgment. You could make that font bigger. Konami, come on, fill in the box. What you do is you just take out the size of the font until it fills in the box, so that I could read. Solemn Judgment is a trap card. You activate my trap card. When a monster would be summoned or a spell trap card is activated, pay half your LP. What's LP? Life. Okay, HP. Negate the summoner activation, and if you do, destroy that card. This is great. It's counterspell. You pay half your life, but who cares? Because if they're going to kill you, they're going to kill you. I think this is great. Just it's like stop. No, you don't get to. I'll pay my life as a resource, but life is a resource.
It's very funny that you say that because literally people have made entire Like, you can summarize that entire text in one word.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you get to say no to anything. Okay, so the verdict is...
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's the ability to say no to anything you're playing.
Yeah, it's critical. It's like, what are you going to do? Be upset that you lost half your life? You're about to lose all your life, right? Last one. If it's pot of greed, I know it's broken. If you guys wanted me to end on pot of greed, then I know it's broken. It's missing mine. All right. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. Sounds pretty good. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, you cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. That sounds bad. Once per turn, during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. This is stupid. So this is just playing around. It's hard to control. The idea is you want to get your more monsters than your opponent so that they control more. If your opponent controls more, so you keep it low. They can't do anything with their monsters. Can they still attack with their monsters though?
No, they cannot.
They can't attack.
Or activate attacks.
Oh, their monsters just frozen. Oh well.
On the other hand, though.
But if I build a deck,
more monsters.
Yeah, but who cares if I could build a deck with like no monsters or one monster? Here's my thoughts. These are my thoughts. My thoughts is this: you build a deck where it's largely spells that are setting you up for a big moment. Spells setting you up. You get this into play and it freezes your opponent. I got no monsters. I'm not doing anything. You can't do anything to me. You can't do anything to me. I'm setting up all this stuff. I'm going to do a big effect to bring it in. And when I finally do, boom, I bring in something like this. And even then, I might only have one monster, and you've got 3 out. You still can't do anything. I come on in for the win. This is a great card. That's what I'm thinking the strategy is.
Terrible.
The worst card in the game.
This is a very controversial card.
Right.
You either love this card or you hate it.
Okay.
To answer your question, it is very good.
I was right.
But
it has the potential to be very good and very...
People hate it. It's annoying.
Very toxic.
Because like how you
it's like Stasis in Magic the Gathering. Like anyone play Magic will get that reference.
Like how you described. Imagine if you're me. Okay, all this stuff. I'm doing good. I'm in a good play. You know, we're going to have a good duel. It's mine.
Right.
And this card brings the game to a standstill.
That sucks.
Because if I play this against you, you can't do... With your monsters, at least, you can't do anything. You can't use their effects. You can't attack with them. And typically when people play this card, they use it to stall.
Pretty much how you say it.
Yeah.
But it's more often used how exactly how you said. I play this, you don't get to do anything with monsters, and I'm just going to either burn your life point, burn effects, or just set up a strong FTK in my hand, and then just... People want this card banned.
Right. I want this card banned.
This card has ruined card shops everywhere. Is very frustrating to lose to.
People will get up angrily, throw the table, and just
Fun fact is that in Japan, actually, when this card was released, card shops banned it on their own.
Yeah.
Like, without Konami to, they were like, this card brings games to a standstill. It will run out the clock, and
I can see that.
People do not like this card. People do not.
Why won't they ban it? Come on, Konami, what's up?
That's what I've been asking.
Even he says,
ban it.
And I'm like, have you seen all of this?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that, in all honesty, so joking aside, my biggest problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a combination of the font size and text, and also the fact that I do genuinely think there are easier, more straightforward ways to convey what's happening. Like, I think that, honestly, a lot of these cards have a combination of this could be said more clearly without the cumbersome language, and possibly a few of the effects or things it's trying to do, where it's like, does it really need to be that conditional of like, oh, it's a 6 or a 5 or an 8 or a 9? And it's like, can we pick a number and stick with it and keep this clear? And that's my biggest problem. I think that the game is probably a lot of fun to play, especially once you really understand it, really know your deck, things like that. I can see how it's a lot of fun, but damn, are these cards working against you? Damn, are these cards working against you? This was my favorite card was this because it made sense and it was easy to read, and I understood it. And then my second favorite card was this because I also understood it. Everything. I understood it. I understood it. Everything else was a little like, what? This was weird. I did not understand that one.
Yeah.
This one, I guess. This one, I guess. This one I should have gone with my gut. And this one's evil.